Two billionaires, Ken Griffin and Stephen Ross, just put $10 million behind a national campaign to bring CEOs, founders, and capital to South Florida. They didn't launch it in New York or Silicon Valley. They launched it right here in West Palm Beach, and it's aimed directly at the people who decide where companies expand, where headquarters go, and where high-income jobs land. The campaign is called Ambition Accelerated, and the premise is simple. Florida's Gold Coast is being positioned as the next major corridor for American business growth. And here's why that matters. When people who control capital start recruiting other decision makers into one place, cities don't just grow, they transform, and real estate transforms along with them. I'm Joel Poulin, a real estate broker here in Palm Beach County, and because I'm in the market every single day, I can't help but notice something. What's happening in West Palm Beach right now is not theoretical. It's not coming someday, it's literally already underway and in very specific and measurable ways. In this video, I'm gonna show you what's already in motion, the education, the healthcare, the office infrastructure, the company moves, and the lifestyle upgrades that explain why this area is being taken seriously by people planning decades ahead. Ambition Accelerated is a campaign created by the Florida Council of 100 and its foundation. And it debuted in the Wall Street Journal's Invest Live event hosted right here in West Palm Beach on February 2nd. This is not a tourism campaign. This is a CEO, founder, investor campaign. And it's designed around one question. Where's the long-term growth for business and life best supported now? Ken Griffin and Stephen Ross aren't predicting growth, they're engineering it. And in the process, they're creating national and international gravity towards South Florida. And once that gravity forms, it creates an energy that changes everything. Jobs, demand, neighborhoods, and the entire business and housing ecosystem. Most people think a city becomes serious when the skyline changes, but that's not what happens first. What comes first is the stuff that makes executives and operators say, okay, we can sustainably support our business and life here full time. And that means, where do my kids go to school? Where do we go for world-class healthcare? And where do we work in real high-quality office space? And does the city actually function in a way that meets our needs? That's the foundation, and that foundation is being built right now and on purpose. Let's start with the education, because this is one of the clearest tell signals of what's coming. Before talent moves, before companies scale, foundations have to be built to support the growth that comes with it. A new nonprofit pre-K through 12th grade private school called Wingrove Academy is being developed in Wellington, scheduled to open August 2028, with a high school following in 2029. It's backed by Elevate, Ed, and Related Ross, and it's designed for long-term capacity and modern curriculum emphasis like STEAM and experiential learning. And here's the real question that every viewer should be asking themselves. Why is a major purpose-built K-12 initiative being planned right now in Palm Beach County? Because the people building this region believe that the next wave is not seasonal residents, it's families, it's operators, and it's leadership teams. It's executives who need full-time support here, including access to quality education for their kids, not just a winter address. Next is Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt University is developing a graduate campus in West Palm Beach with programs tied to business, finance, AI, data science, and engineering explicitly connected to the region's growth industries. Public updates have referenced roughly 1,000 graduate students per year as the campus comes online, and growing up to 3,000 per year as the campus stabilizes. That's not just a school move, that's a talent pipeline, and it solves for something Florida has historically struggled with. For the first time, it's not just about attracting talent, it's about retaining it, so companies can hire locally, expand locally, and graduating students have real opportunities here. Now let's talk about healthcare, because nothing says long-term confidence like major healthcare infrastructure. Cleveland Clinic announced plans tied to a major expansion in Palm Beach County, including a new hospital and expanded outpatient services supported by a $500 million fundraising effort. This isn't just more clinics. The plan includes a new outpatient center and a brand new approximately 200-bed hospital with an emergency department right here in downtown West Palm Beach. That matters because West Palm Beach's old story used to be, if something serious happens medically, where do you go? This is how a city removes bottlenecks. It makes West Palm Beach viable as a true year-round hub for families, executives and growing companies, with healthcare, education, and work all stacking together. Okay, now that education and healthcare start coming online, companies need a place to call home. And office development isn't happening just because of buzz. It happens because demand is real and someone is willing to build for it. The clearest symbol of that shift is One Flagler. One Flagler is a new Class A waterfront office tower designed by David Childs and developed by Related Ross that has become a physical statement of what West Palm Beach is turning into. It's a premium product with premium rents, and it's built for the exact type of tenant that West Palm Beach wants to attract. Now here's the headline that makes this real. Wells Fargo is relocating its wealth and investment management headquarters to West Palm Beach, with a 50,000 square foot office at One Flagler expected to open in August 2026. That's being reported as the first major US bank to base their wealth leadership footprint in South Florida, and it includes senior leadership moving into the region. That's not just interest, that's commitment, and it tells you exactly who this building and this city is being built for. Now zoom out. One Flagler isn't the only new office in town. Related Ross has major additional office product underway at CityPlace, including 10 CityPlace and 15 CityPlace, which together are expected to introduce nearly 1 million square feet of office space to the market. Now let's talk about a headline that made a lot of people do a double take. ServiceNow, a major enterprise software company, announced a West Palm Beach expansion at 10 CityPlace, securing over 200,000 square feet. Their announcement describes an innovation hub and an AI institute projecting more than 850 jobs and $1.8 billion in economic impact over 5 years. That's not a small satellite office, that's another major commitment. And in their own words, they're tying this location to AI innovation, workforce development, and building an ecosystem that will spin out 3 additional jobs to every one that they create. This is how a region flips from a nice place to visit to a national job and capital magnet. And now we hit the part that people feel not on paper, but in their daily life here, the lifestyle upgrades. Because when a city starts attracting operators and high performers year-round, the amenities don't just improve, they level up fast. Eataly opened in West Palm Beach at CityPlace inside the historic Harriet Hemmel building. Equinox opened a flagship club right in the downtown core. And Estiatorio Milos is now in West Palm, tied directly into the One Flagler ecosystem. This isn't fluff. This is exactly what cities start to look like when they start competing for people who can live anywhere. For a lot of people coming from New York, Chicago, or the Northeast, the move isn't about sacrifice, it's simply about relocation. You're trading gray winters, cold weather, and indoor living for sunshine year-round and a lifestyle that pulls you outside. Beaches that you can actually use, golf in January, boating, fishing, paddleboarding, or a walk on the Intercoastal before work. This isn't a vacation version of life, this is a normal Tuesday. And this is where lifestyle stops being personal and becomes professional leverage. When companies recruit talent now, they're not just selling a role. They're selling a life, outdoor living year-round, walkable downtowns, direct flights everywhere, world-class restaurants, golf, and water access, instead of snow, congestion, and a 2-hour daily commute. That's why this region keeps winning relocation decisions. Now let's connect the dots to real estate. When you stack education, healthcare, office, major employers, and lifestyle, you don't get price movement, you get demand quality. And that changes what matters most in housing. Location, build quality, walkability, convenience, and long-term livability. This is why projects like South Flagler House exist now and at this scale. 2 28-story waterfront towers, just 105 residences, large floor plans, resort-level amenities, and a delivery timeline that lines up exactly in the middle of West Palm Beach's next phase of growth. This isn't speculation housing. This is a primary residence product designed for people who are moving their lives, not just parking their money. And if you want a real tell for where West Palm Beach is heading, former Apple and Pepsi CEO John Sculley went into contract for a $40 million, roughly 11,000 square foot penthouse in South Flagler House. That's about $3,600 a square foot, and that's just what's publicly reported. There have already been reports of transactions north of $5,000 a square foot inside this building. Let that sink in. West Palm Beach, pricing that would have been unthinkable in the old narrative. That's not hype. That's what happens when capital, leadership, and infrastructure all converge at once. Now here's where the opportunity side of this really shows up. While South Flagler House is nearing completion, Shorecrest, another Related Ross residential project, is just about to break ground. And that timing matters, because Shorecrest gives buyers a chance to enter the West Palm Beach growth story before it is fully priced in. This is pre-construction pricing in a city that's still mid-transformation. South Flagler House proves the ceiling. Shorecrest allows you to enter below it, while the same forces continue to reshape the city around you. Shorecrest matters because it represents a different entry point. The same city, the same momentum, the same developer, but earlier in the cycle, before values fully reflect what West Palm Beach is becoming. You're getting next-generation waterfront luxury, views, light, location, and amenities without the ultra-scarcity pricing that comes at the very top of the market. And this is where Stephen Ross's approach really comes into focus. He doesn't just build luxury at the top and walk away. He creates demand and then meets it across the spectrum. Ultra luxury like South Flagler House, next-generation waterfront luxury like Shorecrest, and additional residential and mixed-use projects that support a full year-round city. That's why paying attention to who is behind the project matters just as much as the project itself. Track record matters, execution matters, post-sale management matters. When you buy into one of these projects, you're not just buying into a residence, you're buying into a long-term vision of how West Palm Beach is being built and who it's being built for. This is what transformation actually looks like on the ground. Not one tower, not one headline, but a coordinated progression. Offices, schools, healthcare, culture, and residential all reinforcing each other. And when that happens, real estate stops being reactive and starts becoming strategic. So when you hear Gold Coast, don't hear marketing, hear a strategy to unify West Palm, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami as one connected corridor for long-term company building. And Ambition Accelerated is the invitation, put directly in front of CEOs and founders deciding what comes next. Stephen Ross builds the environment, Ken Griffin validates it. Together, they're accelerating what is already forming, and they're trying to make it happen faster. Here's the bottom line. West Palm Beach is no longer just a nice adjacent city to Palm Beach. It's becoming a serious year-round hub in its own right for business, talent, education, healthcare, and lifestyle, and the momentum is showing up in real projects with real timelines. If you're watching from somewhere else in the country and you're trying to understand where the next chapter of growth is landing, pay attention to what's being built right here in West Palm Beach and on the Gold Coast, because this is what early transformation looks like in real life. If you want to go deeper, I'll link the Gold Coast campaign site in the description so you can read the initiative straight from the source. I'm Joel Poulin, Palm Beach real estate broker, and I'll see you in the next video.